When it comes to how high-value men talk to women, it's not about charm or manipulation. It's about authenticity, respect, and emotional intelligence. These men understand that meaningful connections are built on mutual trust and admiration. They know that true confidence speaks louder than arrogance, and they focus on understanding, not impressing. As Steve Jobs once said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." High-value men apply this principle to relationships. They love the process of truly getting to know someone. Mastering how high-value men talk to women is about being present, intentional, and valuing women for who they are, not just how they look. It's this genuine approach that makes women feel valued, heard, and respected, sparking a deeper connection. Number 1, they keep the conversation calm and confident. In today's fast-paced world where social media drives validation and dramatics, a man who remains calm in conversations is a rarity, and women notice that. Instead of reacting emotionally to every little thing a woman says or does, these men demonstrate emotional control. Women admire men who can maintain their composure. One of the strongest traits of a high-value man is his ability to stay grounded in conversations, especially when facing a woman's playful banter. There's nothing unsettling about a woman teasing him because he can steer the conversation with calmness and a positive, light-hearted attitude. Women are drawn to men who remain calm under pressure. When you keep your cool, especially in awkward or stressful situations, you're sending the message that you're mature and in control of your emotions. Imagine this scenario. She smiles lightly and says, "A lot of men only talk about work and money and it gets boring." You smile back and reply, "True, but what really matters is how we engage with each other in those little moments." She raises an eyebrow, intrigued. "What do you mean?" "We can share passions, those things that make us truly live. That's what I find interesting." At this moment, many men might feel thrown off or deflated by her comment. But by maintaining your composure, smiling, and responding calmly, you've shown her your value, something far more compelling than any flashy outfit or impressive job title. In conversations, if you ever feel the urge to defend yourself or justify your actions, or even respond emotionally, take a breath. Pause. Let your response come from a place of calm control, and notice how your words carry more weight. Why is it that some men crumble under pressure while others shine? The answer lies in emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and manage one's own emotions and influence the emotions of others. Think of it like this. When a man remains unfazed, even in moments of challenge, he's demonstrating not just maturity, but also emotional mastery. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Women appreciate a man who can steer the dialogue in a meaningful direction, one that emphasizes shared values and experiences. Instead of getting caught up in superficial discussions, show her that you're more interested in building a deeper connection. Ask her, for example, what excites you outside of work? What makes you feel alive? These types of questions not only keep the conversation interesting, but also signal that you're someone who values depth over surface-level chatter. Here's another example. You're at a dinner party, and she makes a lighthearted joke at your expense. Most men would feel the need to defend themselves or throw a joke back. Instead, you smile, nod, and let the moment pass. By doing so, you've proven that you're not easily rattled, and your calm demeanor becomes a reflection of your inner strength. As Warren Buffett wisely stated, the most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. This idea applies to conversations as well. It's not always about what you know, but how you present yourself. Temperament, the ability to stay calm and composed, will always be more valuable than trying to impress with superficial displays. Next time you're in a conversation with a woman, remember, keep your cool, lead with confidence, and watch how she becomes more and more intrigued by your calm, collected demeanor. Isn't that the kind of man we all strive to be? Number 2, listen with your heart and respond sincerely. In a world where many women often feel unheard, offering your full attention can be a game changer. Sarah, you know, sometimes I feel like no one really listens to me. John, I get that. How does that make you feel when it happens? Sarah, it's frustrating, like my thoughts don't matter. John, I'm really interested in what you're saying. Can you tell me more about it? Sarah, wow, thanks for asking. It feels nice to be heard for once. John, your feelings truly matter to me. A man who doesn't just nod politely but truly listens, engages, and makes her feel like the only person in the room. Unfortunately, most men are simply waiting for their turn to speak, nodding along while mentally preparing their next response. But when you practice active listening, the connection deepens, becoming something more meaningful. When you listen with intent, truly hearing her words, processing them and responding with genuine interest, you communicate that she matters. This isn't just about conversation, it's about showing that she is valued. Put your phone away, resist the urge to check it, and don't let your mind drift to what you're going to say next. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Maintaining eye contact, giving casual feedback, and even asking follow-up questions that show you're paying attention all convey that you're invested in what she's saying. You might say, "That's really interesting. Can you tell me more about how that made you feel?" This level of engagement makes her feel valued and appreciated, and that's when the real connection begins. Suddenly, she's drawn into the conversation, not because you're talking about yourself, but because you've shown that her thoughts and emotions are worthy of exploration. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply, said Stephen Covey, author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is where you can stand out. Don't fall into the trap of preparing your next line while she's speaking. Instead, let her words sink in and respond from a place of genuine curiosity. Now consider how this applies to daily interactions. Whether it's with a romantic partner, a friend, or a colleague, the power of active listening can transform relationships. It's not just about being a good conversationalist. It's about being someone who values connection over self-expression. In today's fast-paced world where everyone seems to be distracted, active listening is more than just a skill. It's a superpower. It shows that you are present, that you care, and that you value the person in front of you. Number 3, calmness is a superpower. Maintaining composure in any situation is a superpower that most men underestimate. Think about it. How often have you been in a heated argument, maybe on a date or during a disagreement, and felt that overwhelming urge to blow up? It's human nature, but here's the thing. Losing your cool doesn't just escalate the situation. It also diminishes how others see you. In today's drama-filled dating and social world, composure equals power. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a tense conversation, and instead of snapping, you stay calm, collected, and unshaken. That's when you stand out. Why? Because most people, especially men, crumble under pressure. High-value men, they don't flinch. They recognize that every test, every emotional button someone tries to push, is an opportunity to show strength and maturity. The reality is, whether it's your partner, your boss, or even a stranger, people constantly test each other. They want to see how you'll react. The moment you start getting defensive or losing your temper, you lose respect. This couldn't be truer in both personal and professional interactions. But how do you stay calm when everything inside you screams to react? It starts with practicing composure in everyday conflicts. Next time someone cuts you off in traffic or irritates you at work, instead of reacting immediately, take a deep breath. Pause. Give the moment some space. You'll notice that by not reacting emotionally right away, you feel a lot more in control of the situation and the outcome. Leaders who maintain their composure, especially in stressful situations, are more respected and trusted by their teams. Why? Because they inspire confidence. The same applies to dating. When a woman challenges you, staying composed shows that you can handle pressure, a key trait of high-value men. Remember, being calm doesn't mean being passive or emotionless. It's about choosing your response instead of being driven by impulse. In the words of Bruce Lee, be water, my friend. Water can flow or crash, but it always remains true to its form. So, what's your move next time you're under pressure? Will you rise to the occasion and maintain your composure, or will you let emotions control the narrative? The choice is yours, but high-value men know exactly how to navigate these moments with grace and power. Number 4, they smile when rejected. In this moment, many men struggle. They fear rejection, they dread it, and when that fear takes over, it shows. Women are all too familiar with men who crumble at their feet, desperate for attention. But here's the truth. If you let rejection define you, you'll lose her respect in an instant. Confidence isn't about how many times you're validated. It's about being unwavering, even in the face of rejection. How do you react when faced with it? Do you let it shake your foundation, or do you stand tall? Imagine this. You're talking to a woman, and she turns you down. Instead of reacting emotionally or letting disappointment show, you smile, thank her for her time, and walk away with your head held high. That small action speaks volumes. It shows her and everyone around that your self-worth isn't dictated by her response. That kind of confidence is magnetic and incredibly rare these days. The moment you prove that rejection doesn't faze you, you've already turned the tables. Take Thomas Edison's words to heart. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Rejection isn't failure, it's part of the process. Each no is simply a step toward a yes that's right for you. It shows emotional strength and stability, qualities that people naturally gravitate toward. Think of confidence as a muscle. Each rejection is like a weight you're lifting. Uncomfortable at first, but necessary for growth. Have you ever noticed how the people who seem unfazed by setbacks tend to attract others effortlessly? It's because they radiate an inner peace that others crave. When you aren't desperate for approval, you stand out from the crowd of men seeking validation. You become the kind of person who others want to be around, not because you need them, but because you choose them. Now ask yourself, how do you handle rejection? Do you let it deter you, or do you see it as a stepping stone? The Stoics believed that we cannot control external events, only our response to them. Rejection is just that, an external event beyond your control. Next time you're faced with rejection, remember, it's not the end of the story. It's merely a chapter. Smile, move on, and let your actions show that your value isn't dependent on one person's opinion. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Number 5, they are honest and transparent. Why do high-value men stand out in their communication? At the heart of their interactions is integrity. They are honest and transparent. There are no mind games, manipulations, or hidden agendas. In a world where authenticity can sometimes seem scarce, their sincerity is refreshing. Women and people in general appreciate clarity. The absence of pretension allows for deeper, more meaningful connections. But why is this honesty so powerful? It builds trust. A man who says what he means and means what he says becomes someone you can rely on. It's no wonder that trust is often described as the foundation of any strong relationship. As Warren Buffett famously said, It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. High-value men understand this and live by it. Moreover, these men aren't afraid of vulnerability. They don't put up walls or hide behind facades. This vulnerability doesn't mean weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to be honest, especially when it's uncomfortable. High-value men set a standard by leading with integrity and inviting others to do the same. It's this kind of behavior that fosters strong bonds. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and fake personalities, authenticity stands out. The appeal of a high-value man is undeniable, and his transparency is at the core of that appeal. As you navigate relationships, whether personal or professional, remember, authenticity isn't just attractive, it's essential. Number 6, they know how to create excitement in conversation. Most guys stick to the same basic, predictable questions. What's your job? Or what do you do for fun? These are okay starters, but high-value men dive deeper. They ask the kind of questions that spark real connection. Imagine this. So, what do you usually do when you have some free time? Her. I like to relax, read a book, or spend time with my family. You. That sounds great, but let me ask, what's one thing you've always wanted to try but haven't had the chance to yet? Her. I've always wanted to learn how to surf. You. Surfing? That's exciting. What draws you to that? Right there, you've set yourself apart. Most guys stop at surface-level questions, but you're digging into her dreams. When you ask meaningful questions like this, it shows her you're not just interested in small talk, you're genuinely interested in her as a person. And guess what? That makes you stand out. Women are often used to guys who stay on the surface, people who never dig into what really excites them. When you show genuine curiosity about what makes her tick, she feels seen and appreciated. According to psychologist Arthur Aaron, deep, thoughtful questions can accelerate emotional intimacy between two people. That's because these questions allow the other person to reflect, share their inner world, and feel more connected in the process. For example, if she mentions she's passionate about something like animal welfare, don't just stop at "that's nice." Instead, dive deeper. Ask, what inspired you to care so much about animals? You're encouraging her to share a meaningful part of her life, and in return, you'll get to know her on a level most people never do. And the more you show interest in her inner world, the more she'll associate you with feelings of validation, excitement, and genuine connection. Isn't that what creates long-lasting bonds? By asking deep, thoughtful questions, you're giving her a memorable experience that taps into emotions, creating a moment she'll remember long after your conversation ends. Instead of asking generic questions, try asking questions like, if you could master one skill overnight, what would it be? What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? What's a dream of yours that you've been too afraid to chase? These questions open doors to vulnerability, curiosity, and excitement. They also make the conversation more engaging for both of you. When a woman feels understood, she feels more connected. The beauty of this approach is that you're not playing games or trying to impress her with flashy gestures. You're simply creating space for a meaningful exchange, and that's something rare. By taking the conversation beyond the surface, you become someone different from the rest, someone who makes her feel like she matters. Think about it. What kind of question would make you feel more connected to someone? Isn't that what we're all seeking at the end of the day? Someone who genuinely cares about what makes us us. Asking deep questions not only sparks connection, but also leads to more engaging, memorable conversations. Number 7, nonverbal actions. High-value men don't just command attention through their words, but through their actions. Here's the intriguing part. Most men are unaware of how much nonverbal communication they actually engage in. Movements are purposeful and controlled. Is your eye contact confident and steady? In fact, much of communication is nonverbal. Before you even say a word, your body has already spoken. Your stance, the way you move, and whether you maintain eye contact all send clear signals. Women, being visually intuitive creatures, pick up on these physical cues more than you realize. Men who rush their movements, whether walking, talking, or gesturing, often project anxiety or uncertainty. Think of Steve McQueen, famously dubbed the King of Cool. His presence demanded attention, not because of what he said, but how he carried himself. His slow, deliberate movements spoke volumes about his confidence. He never rushed, never panicked. Scientifically, research shows that nonverbal communication accounts for up to 93% of daily interactions. So if you're only focusing on what you say and ignoring how you carry yourself, you're missing the bigger picture. These small actions reveal much about your inner state. Mastering body language isn't about forcing yourself to act a certain way. When you're grounded and in control, it shows, without saying a word. Cultivate inner confidence and it will naturally radiate through your movements. Pay attention to your posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, head high. Slow down and ensure every action is intentional. Record yourself to see how you present and reflect on the image you're projecting. Not only does this make you more attractive to women, it also changes the way people around you perceive you. Number 8, confident but not arrogant. Confidence isn't about putting on a show or seeking approval. It's the quiet assurance that comes from knowing who you are without needing to shout it from the rooftops. In contrast, arrogance demands attention, validation, and praise. The difference? Confidence whispers, while ego screams. When you enter a room with quiet confidence, it speaks louder than any boastful words could. Women are naturally drawn to this energy because it reflects strength, security, and self-awareness. You don't need to impress them with stories of your success. They'll feel your presence through your calm and collected demeanor. Confidence is a silent magnet, pulling people toward you without effort. However, there is a fine line between arrogance and confidence. Arrogance is built on external validation and crumbles when challenged. But true confidence, it's unshakable. As Maya Angelou said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Confidence leaves an unforgettable impression, not through words, but through how it affects others. The next time you're tempted to prove yourself, resist. Let your actions speak. Real confidence lies in being secure in yourself without needing to advertise it. Are you ready to step into the room as your authentic self, letting your quiet confidence shine through? Because when you do, people will notice. To master how high-value men talk to women, you must understand that it's not just about words, but presence and respect. High-value men know how to connect deeply, listen actively, and make women feel valued without seeking validation. By embodying confidence and emotional intelligence, they naturally attract genuine admiration. If you want to unlock more insights into how high-value men talk to women, show your support by hitting the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to The Stoic Goddess. Share your thoughts in the comments and ring the notification bell for more incredible videos. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.